What's good, guys? It's your boy Ryu Sennin, back with another video. Today's video is a special video. We're going to be doing a Q&A today. I put some polls out on my Instagram, on the community page on YouTube to see what kind of questions you guys have for me. Got a couple, about 10, 15 or so, and that's the video for today. Stay tuned, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. First question, what got you into training Taekwondo? Well, that all started back in 2016, I want to say. I initially started training because at the time we were producing a film series that required a lot of stunt work and martial arts choreography. At the time, we didn't know anything, so I said, hey, let's sign up for a couple weeks, learn some stuff, and keep on filming. Obviously, it didn't work out that way. We started training, I liked it, and I stayed, and that was that. Next question. This is actually a good one. What is GSS? GSS stands for Ghetto Strong Style. That is the style of martial arts I like to say I do from all the things that I blended together. It actually, the term came about back when me and Hez used to wrestle as a part of the Havoc Nation wrestling tag team. We had a lot of inspiration from Japanese strong style of wrestling, but when we did it, it was so... people like to say it was loud and in your face, and they would always say what we did looked ghetto, so that's where we got the idea of Ghetto Strong Style. Ugly, but effective. When was my first competition? My first competition was in 2016. I was a senior yellow belt, still in beginner stages. I actually competed in a sparring tournament a lot earlier than I was supposed to. At our school, it's supposed to be green and above, but just at the time, as much as I was going to classes back then, I got permission to enter. My first out of school competition, like where I traveled somewhere, was probably to the US Open back in 2017. It was the largest martial arts tournament I've ever done. Everyone comes from around the world. They come to Florida and they scrap. So yeah, that was probably my first out of school tournament. It was like the largest tournament in the world. Crazy. I do crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Would you compete in Ohio? Maybe, I guess. It depends on what the competition is. I mean, I've competed in a lot of places, so I guess it really depends on the expense and if it's worth it. If the expense isn't too crazy and if it's worth it, yeah, I'd do it. Do you have beef with Shinigami? I actually got this question a couple times submitted to me. I do not have any beef with Shinigami. I will say my respect for Shinigami is a little different now after everything we've been through, but I wish no ill will toward him. I've actually been trying to help him be a better fighter, a better content creator, and just a better person overall. We were supposed to collab for a couple videos, but he's too busy to make it happen. So, you know. What's next? Does Jonah train in Muay Thai? So the original question was, does the brown belt train in Muay Thai? Brown belt being the light skin one, the Jonah. He does not train in Muay Thai. He just trains with us. I mean, mind you, me and Hez have trained at Muay Thai gyms, so we do bring a lot of that stuff back. So it's possible he picked up on some of the things we do, but a lot of the heavy Muay Thai stuff he does just is from watching YouTube videos and just, you know, his training on his own. Gotta say, man, he's doing pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with him. You know, he won the last Battle of Champions, so whatever he's doing is clearly working. Did you initially think you'd become champion in your weight class? Absolutely not. At no point early in my Streetbeefs career that I go, I'm going to be champion. It never was the goal. It never was what I signed up for. It just happened to work out that way. Next question. What did becoming champion mean to you? at the time, it was a very overwhelming feeling of you know, I could say I've accomplished something. You know, I know Streetbeefs is like a unsanctioned organization, which I kind of made it like the more special to me because like there were little to no weight classes in terms of there was like a scale of how much you could be over. It wasn't a hard weight limit, just the people's skill level that you could fight. You never knew what you were gonna get. At the time I was competing in Street Beefs at its height, I want to say it was during COVID when a lot of the amateur places and pro places were shut down, so no one could get fights. So a lot of the high AMI ranked fighters and a lot of like people of that stature would come to Street Beefs to stay active. So I feel like you got some of the best Street Beefs fights during that COVID window. And I'm happy to say I became champion during that window, fighting a lot of guys who had a lot of skill. What did becoming a Hall of Famer mean to you? That one was a little trickier because I've been doing martial arts, at least in my mind, not that long. I started back in 2016, so to me, it feels like I haven't been doing it for long enough to earn that honor, if you will. But it took a lot of time and people telling me that I did deserve it and that I should be proud of it. Because I mean, I'm a very humble guy. I know a lot of people who see in my interviews and things like that. Like I'm a very chill, down to earth person. So to make it in the Hall of Fame at first, I didn't think I deserved it. I didn't think it was something I earned yet. But the longer I keep doing this, like more and more, I just feel like I've earned my spot. And you know, wow, I'm saying you know a lot. That's crazy. But a quote that somebody told me, my man Evan Styles, back when I used to wrestle. I remember when I used to wrestle, I wanted to be world champion. He told me the belt doesn't make the wrestler makes the belt. And that's kind of how I look at the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame award doesn't make me, but I choose what I do with that award if I want to make it mean something or not. So when I was inducted for competitive the year, I really wanted to make that mean something. So I put a bigger emphasis on traveling and competing to as many places as I can. I want to say between 2022 and 2023, I've competed probably the most ever I've done like in a calendar year. Like I'm just constantly on the move, traveling, training. So I want to say it's a big honor. I appreciate the award, but it's up to me to make it mean something. What did becoming a Wall of Famer mean to you? That also was one of those things that I didn't expect to do in the beginning, but now I just think it's pretty cool that my name is now permanently a part of Streetbeefs, which is super cool because you go from watching them online on YouTube to going like, I'm a part of that now. Like I can pull up a fight now and be like, oh, there's my name right there. Like it's so funny that I instinctively know where my name is on the walls when people are fighting. I'm like, oh, there it is. And I just think that's pretty cool. Like a lot of my students also watch Streetbeefs, so they'll like recognize my name and they'll be like, oh my God, like that's you. And I'm like, yeah, and it's pretty cool. What was your intention when joining Streetbeefs? My initial intention with Streetbeefs was that I want to go and prove that the martial arts system that we're teaching works. So when I went out and did my first MMA match for Streetbeefs, I did nothing but train at our school, and I took everything I learned and I said, let's see if I can make it work. Then it was, can I make it work in kickboxing? Can I apply the stuff we do in this traditional martial arts school and make that work in full combat, which I was able to. So that was pretty cool. That really was my intention, proving that traditional martial arts can still function in full contact. It all depends on how I was trained. Disclaimer, it all depends on how I was trained. When's the next fight? Unfortunately, I am at this current point in time retired. I'm trying to do my absolute best to stay retired. A lot of people are making it very difficult to stay retired, but I'm retired from full contact. I'm almost 30 now. I'm a dad, you feel me? So I'm kind of changing more towards teaching. And I feel like that's kind of my thing now, like teaching and coaching. So I'm kind of putting my full contact hat down. I will say though, Fire Chicken is trying to get me out to the scrapyard, and that might have to happen. We'll see. But I'm trying my hardest. Favorite opponent. Favorite opponent's kind of rough, but I'll probably say my favorite opponent would have to be Beast, just for the fact that I feel like I learned the most in that fight about one, the levels to the fight game, and two, just how much more there was to learn. And I felt like at that time I was in a certain position where I'm like, I'm good, I know all I can. But after that fight and after speaking to Beast, and he's been helping me a bunch, which I always give him praise for, I learned that there's much more I was able to accomplish. And I don't think I would have never gotten this far where I'm at if I didn't take that initial loss to Beast early on. So thank you, Beast. Do you get paid? You do not get paid for fighting Street Beefs. You do not get paid. It is illegal to get paid. You don't get paid fighting for Amis. You don't get paid fighting for Street Beefs. Let no one tell you different. People always go, well, then if you don't get paid, why do you fight for Street Beefs? The exposure you can get from fighting Street Beefs is ridiculous. I feel like a lot of the opportunities that have come my way have been through Street Beefs and the popularity that it brought me. Oh, you don't get paid fighting for Street Beefs, you shouldn't fight there. What if you get hurt? You don't get paid fighting for the Amis. What happens if you get hurt? Same shit. Don't worry about it. If you're a good fighter, you build some exposure in Street Beefs. A lot of those guys like Reckless Rico, Shinigami at the time, Sensation, Manu the Great, Beach. A lot of those guys have taken their exposure from Street Beefs and have used that and catapulted to the Amis with like a bigger following. It's a lot easier to make that transition to Ami if you already have a social media following. So if you're smart, you play your cards right, you could take the social backing from Street Beefs, and you can carry that on to something better. Best performance. Against Shinigami. That was a very, very, very close between my fight versus Shinigami and probably my very first match against Grizzly King. Because my first match, I was all nerves. I was just on autopilot. And I want to say after the first match, I kind of always had this thing where I didn't want to hurt anybody, so I would kind of like downplay myself. But when I fought Shinigami, I was 100% confident. I was cool, calm, and collected the whole time. Picked shots well, got him out of there. Favorite branch? Ooh, this is a tricky one. As you guys all know, I'm a Street Beefs OG apparently. You know, I'm the OG now. I fight on the Street Beefs East Coast Yard in Virginia. I have fought for Street Beefs West Coast. I've met a lot of scrapyard fighters, but I've not fought there. I will say probably overall as a branch, I would probably say Street Beefs West Coast just because the vibe is so different. Because I feel like with the East Coast, so many people come in, it's like a revolving door. There's not many like mainstays anymore. But if you go to the West Coast, even people like Free Smoke who don't really fight anymore, Wedo who at the time stopped fighting, like those guys are still there. You still see them. They're still such a big part of the community. It's like more of a brotherhood on the West Coast. So for sure, Street Beefs West Coast. And my last question, I knew it was coming, so I'll save this to the very end. Will there be a Ryu Sennin versus Shinigami rematch? Honestly, probably not. I'm one of those people that say never, but I can say like 99.9% is probably never going to happen for two major reasons. Number one, Shinigami keeps claiming he's going to go pro and he's going to be gone from Street Beefs at some point.
Because we'll see what happens. Have a pro
but more so already. After the fucking headache I had to deal with fighting him, the lead up, the fight itself, then the after parts of the fight, it's just not worth it for me. Like, it's just overall, to make a long story short, it's just not worth it for me to get involved and go down that rabbit hole again. I know Fire Chicken has said similarly, just said, you just don't do it, it's not worth it. And I'm like, you know what, man, you're absolutely right. So that was a very short Q&A with Ryu Sennin here, which is myself talking in third person. It's kind of crazy. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Helps us out a ton. Also, please check out our links for the Hakai Culture shorts, as well as getting some Yokai sparring gear, 10% off with the promo code Ryu Sennin TKD. That being said, thanks guys. Have a good one. Peace out. What's good, guys? It's your boy Ryu Sennin here, two-time Street Beefs kickboxing champion, three-time martial arts Hall of Famer, and holder of so much gold. But today I have a special message from our sponsor.
The sponsor of this video, Hakai Culture. They specialize in anime streetwear that a large part of the Havoc Nation team wears. We're fans of their anime shorts and definitely their performance shorts. Their shorts are a perfect mesh of polyester blend, perfect for heavy workouts, sparring, and of course our specialty, kicks. Great designs, great performance. As always, guys, use our promo code Ryu Sennin TKD for 10% off all orders. This helps to support the team, man. Help us out.